Hey guys, welcome. So I thought what I'd start doing is making some videos about all my past ET contact experiences, all my UFO sightings and significant contact experiences in a variety of forms. So I thought the obvious place to start would be right at the beginning. So we're going back to, I think, 2008. Could have been 2009, because I had my major contact experience and awakening in 2009. I think they started in 2008, the summer of 2008. It could have been earlier in 2009 though. So what happened was I came across the teachings of Dr. Stephen Greer, teaching about how to make contact using the CE5 protocol, which is the idea of, like, some of you are probably familiar with Stephen Greer's work, and basically it comes down to the idea of going into a meditative state, as Dr. Greer calls it, in entering a state of cosmic consciousness, like going into deep meditation where we begin to sense our connection to the infinite, or perhaps the initial stages of that is just feeling a deep peace inside, which ultimately is, in my experience, the access point into the infinite consciousness. So, but I wasn't feeling the oneness and the infinity back then. So what I started doing was doing this meditation. Actually, I found some third eye activation meditations on the internet because I couldn't find Dr. Greer's full teachings at the time. And I don't know if they're available, if I just didn't come across them. So I was just sort of piecing it together myself from the bits he talked about in his videos. So what I was doing was, I was doing a third eye meditation. You can search on YouTube for third eye activation meditations and you'll see what I mean. And this opens up our third eye, which is connected to the pineal gland in the center of our brain. That's the physical manifestation of it. And it's kind of our access point into interdimensionality, into our spiritual self. Some people, I've heard there's a documentary called DMT, the spirit molecule, and the pineal gland releases DMT, and this is all connected to the third eye and the idea of connecting to the spirit world and our multidimensional self, a truer aspect of ourself, our interdimensional, multidimensional self. So what I would do is I'd do this third eye meditation, I'd go into the deep meditations, and I'd start doing what Dr. Greer called coherent thought sequencing, where what you do is you sort of send out the impetus to connect with an extraterrestrial consciousness within. And you can do, the way I was doing it was I was visualizing, I think I first visualized a flying saucer, and then I visualized the image of a grey extraterrestrial, because this was the only ET I was aware of at the time. I was sort of very ignorant to this. I didn't know much about it, so it was just a pop culture grey image ET, which I now know to be a real extraterrestrial species, the Zeta Greys. But I didn't know that at the time. And so I was doing this, so I was doing this meditation to, so I'd visualize the flying saucer, I'd visualize the Zeta Grey extraterrestrial, or just the like pop culture grey extraterrestrial I knew it as at the time. And what this does is, once we've gone into the meditative state, we're sort of putting it out there to connect with the highest, to like sort of projecting my consciousness out into the space with the idea of connecting telepathically to any extraterrestrials that are sort of tuned into our frequency at the time. And so after that, what you do, according to Dr. Greer's teachings, is you begin to visualize where you are in the universe. So what we do in the coherent thought sequencing protocol is we visualize first the Milky Way galaxy, like a spiral galaxy, like the image of our Milky Way galaxy. And then from there, we visualize our solar system, like the 9 planets in our solar system, something like that. I should know this. So I visualize our solar system, and then I visualize Earth, like third rock from the sun, the third planet from the sun, and like an image of our Earth, you know, with blue waters and green, you know, typical image of the Earth. So I'd visualize this, and the idea is that you're telepathically transmitting this out to any extraterrestrials that may be picking up on our frequency out in the cosmos. And so from there, I would visualize the UK, where I live, and it's like zoning down to where you're located. So I'd visualize like Lincolnshire, where I was living at the time, where I am now, and visualize I would visualize like the Wash, which is an area of land, a sea. It's sort of the formation of where it's where the sea cuts into the land. It's called the Wash, I think. The Humber to the Wash, something like that. I visualised this area, the East Coast, and I visualised sort of my location in Lincolnshire on the East Coast, sort of putting a spot on the map. And then I'd visualised Lincoln Cathedral, quite a profound landmark that the World War II pilots incidentally used to find their way home. And so perhaps it's good for ETs to find me. And from there I'd visualised the big oak tree. I'd sort of zone in like 3-4 miles where I was living at the time. In away from the cathedral to the southeast, I visualised the big walnut tree behind my house, and I'd use that. And I was doing this, and I'd do this every day or almost every day I was doing it for about 6 weeks, I believe, before I had some activity turn up. And so I after a while I didn't get anything happen, but I was really enjoying the meditations. I was seeing a lot of images, profound images, and I found the meditations very exciting, very peaceful, very relaxing, very joyful. So really that's the main reason I carried on. But I was carrying on doing the coherent thought sequencing and sort of forgot about trying to contact ET. I was just going through the process because I was enjoying it. And then after about 6 weeks, I had my first sighting, or possible sighting. I don't know, it seemed something was going on. So in all these first sightings, there was really no guarantee that they were ETs. It wasn't like a big flying saucer hovering over my house with like ETs waving out the window. It's not. I think what they try to do is they try to keep us guessing. They don't show us too much. They want us to keep going within. They want us to keep researching, keep exploring, keep looking for new information, keep going deeper within ourselves. They want us to explore reality. And so I think they give us just enough to keep us looking, keep us seeking for answers. So the first experience I had was I was sat meditating. I think I was doing a lying down meditation because I wasn't very good at doing sitting meditations at the time. Sitting meditation is better because keeping your spine erect, it keeps you alert so you don't fall asleep. But I tend not to fall asleep when I'm meditating anyway. So lying down's okay if you don't get on with sitting up erect while meditating. So I was doing a lying down meditation actually on my bed, and I remember. Yeah, I'm fairly certain. See, I get that there's 3 sightings over a period of a month or so, and I get them a bit muddled up which happened with which, but I'm fairly certain this is how it happened. So I'm lying on my bed doing this meditation, doing the images, and I open my eyes, and this immense feeling, well, perhaps the immense feeling of love came over me first. I feel this immense feeling of love as I open my eyes. And I look up whilst feeling this really strong feeling of love. And my lampshade above my head appears to look like a rotating flying saucer. It was kind of, I remember it quite distinctly. It was like, almost like a disc. It wasn't quite like your classic flying saucer. Imagine a disc, like one disc. Imagine like a plate, like a perfectly flat plate, discular plate. And then below that there's a slightly smaller plate, and then like it's joined up at the sides, so it's like sort of like flat across the top and then slightly beveled down to a smaller disc at the bottom, and with like windows all the way round, or glass panels all the way round. And this is what I saw, like my lampshade appeared to look like this, and it was like rotating round. And the next thing I know, I can hear fighter jets approaching my house, like really loud and really fast. And I know that often, I knew from my research that fighter jets are often associated with UFO sightings because they track the UFOs. And so I jump out of bed, fly to my window and open the window. And the more I think about this, the more I think it was a real sighting because they all went directly over my house, these 3 sightings. And so I opened my window, and from where I couldn't see anything, it's just like there was light clouds cover, but fully cloud covered. You couldn't see anything, sort of white greyish colour. And I hear the fighter jets fly over my house, and the energy seems really electric. And from the sound of where the fighter jets are coming from, I see 3 really bright pulses of light through the cloud cover. It was like vroom, vroom, vroom. And that was it, off into the distance. So, that was my first sighting. So, watch out for the next episode in this series of my extraterrestrial contact experiences. Shivai, good day, Earth human. Shivai.